Most people think focus is about willpower. They believe that if they just tried harder, if they were more disciplined, if they were less lazy, they'd be able to sit down and focus for hours. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Willpower is the weakest productivity strategy you can rely on. And if you've ever sat down to work, fully intending to focus, only to find yourself checking your phone 17 minutes later, it's not because you lack discipline. It's because you're fighting your biology. Science shows that sustained focus isn't a personality trait, it's a brain state. And today, I'm going to show you the exact 3-step system to shift your brain into deep work mode, on demand, without frying your nervous system or burning out after 2 days. This is not hustle culture. This is controlled intensity, sustainable focus. Let's break it down. Let's zoom out. Right now, you live in the most dopamine-saturated environment in human history. Every app is engineered to spike your reward system. Every notification is a micro-hit of novelty. Every scroll resets your attention span. Your brain evolved for survival in environments where stimulation was scarce. Now it's drowning in it. And here's what happens neurologically. You have 2 systems constantly competing. The limbic system, emotional, reactive, novelty-seeking. The prefrontal cortex, logical, future-focused, goal-oriented. Deep work lives in the prefrontal cortex. Scrolling lives in the limbic system. And dopamine strengthens whatever behavior it's attached to. So if you start your day with Instagram, email, news, short-form content, you've trained your brain to crave rapid context switching. Then you sit down and try to write a report for 4 hours. Of course it feels painful. You've conditioned your brain for chaos, and then you blame yourself. This is why motivation feels inconsistent, because motivation isn't a decision, it's a chemical state. So instead of trying to be more disciplined, we engineer the state. That's the shift. Before I give you the system, let's clarify something important. Focusing for 4 hours straight does not mean sitting frozen in a chair, no breaks, no movement, no mental rest, grinding until your eyes hurt. That's not focus, that's stress. Real deep work feels calm, clear, narrow, intentional, absorbing. It doesn't feel frantic. And the reason most people burn out is because they confuse adrenaline with productivity. Adrenaline is short-term. Flow is sustainable. We want flow. And flow requires structure. So here's the system. If you remember one thing from this video, remember this. You cannot enter deep focus from a chaotic state. You must lower your baseline stimulation first. Think of your brain like a sound system. If the background noise is loud, you won't hear subtle details. Same with focus. If your dopamine baseline is high from constant stimulation, normal work feels boring. So we deliberately lower the baseline. Here's the 20-minute reset protocol before your 4-hour block. First, movement. 5 to 10 minutes minimum. A brisk walk. Push-ups. Stretching. Anything that increases blood flow. Why? Because movement increases dopamine and norepinephrine in a stable, controlled way. Not a spike, a regulation. Second, remove high dopamine inputs. No scrolling, no short videos, no rapid app switching. Let your brain settle. This is uncomfortable at first. That discomfort is your dopamine recalibrating. Stay with it. Third, regulate your nervous system. 2 minutes of slow nasal breathing. Inhale 4 seconds. Exhale 6 seconds. Longer exhales activate the parasympathetic system. That's the calm focus state. Then, hydrate. Even mild dehydration reduces cognitive performance. Now, when you sit down to work, you're not fighting overstimulation. You're starting from neutral. That's the difference between forcing focus and allowing focus. This is where most productivity advice fails. They tell you to make a bigger to-do list. More tasks, more goals, more ambition. But deep focus requires constraint. Instead of managing tasks, you create a container. A container has 4 rules. Rule 1. One outcome only. Not work on project. Not be productive. Specific outcome. Example, write 1,200 words. Complete slide draft. Code feature X. Ambiguity drains energy. Clarity conserves it. Rule 2. Pre-decide everything. Before starting, document open, tabs closed, phone in another room, timer set, coffee ready. Once the timer starts, no decisions. Decision-making consumes glucose in the brain. Minimize it. Rule 3. Define start and end times. Example, 1:00 p.m., 2:30 p.m., break, 2:45 p.m., 4:15 p.m., break, 4:30 p.m., 6:00 p.m. That's 4.5 hours total window. 4 hours deep work, 30 minutes recovery. Your brain loves boundaries. Without them, work expands endlessly. Rule 4. Remove escape routes. Phone out of reach. Notifications off. Browser blocked if needed. Make distraction harder than work. Environment beats willpower every time. This is where sustainability happens. Your brain operates in ultradian rhythms, about 90 minutes of peak cognitive performance followed by a dip. So instead of forcing 4 straight hours, you do 90 minutes deep work, 15 minutes real break, repeat twice. During the break, no scrolling, no email, no quick check, because that spikes dopamine again. Instead, walk outside, stretch, stare at something far away, drink water, let your mind wander. Wandering consolidates information. It's not laziness, it's integration. When you return for the second 90-minute block, entry into focus is faster, because momentum exists. By hour 3 and 4, you're not tired, you're locked in. That's flow stacking. Let's be honest, the first 10-15 minutes will feel resistant. That's normal. Your brain is shifting gears. Around minute 20, you'll feel smoother thinking. Around minute 45, you'll stop noticing the clock. Around minute 70, time distortion begins. That's flow. Then you stop, even if you feel good. Because stopping at the peak trains your brain to want the next session. Overextension leads to burnout. Underextension builds hunger. That's the long-term game. Burnout isn't caused by hard work. It's caused by misaligned effort. People burn out because they start overstimulated, multitask constantly, skip breaks, use breaks for scrolling, work without clarity, sleep poorly, repeat daily. That creates cortisol overload, and cortisol destroys sustained focus. But when you align with biology, 4 hours feels achievable, not extreme. Here's the part no one talks about. Deep work is a skill, and like any skill, it requires progressive overload. If you currently focus for 45 minutes max, don't jump to 4 hours tomorrow. Start with 60 minutes, break, 60 minutes. Build capacity weekly. Your attention span will expand. Neural pathways strengthen with repetition. After 2 to 3 weeks, something interesting happens. You crave deep work, because it feels better than scattered distraction. That's when you know the system is working. If you want to level this up even more, same time daily. Consistency reduces activation energy. Same workspace. Context-dependent memory enhances performance. Track deep work hours, not outcomes. Inputs. Protect sleep like it's sacred. No sleep, no focus. Caffeine timing. Use caffeine before block 1. Avoid during block 2. Weekly reflection. What distracted you? Eliminate it systematically. Focus is engineered, not hoped for. Let's put this into perspective. 4 hours of true deep work can produce a full article draft, a business strategy outline, 50% of a coding sprint, exam-level revision, a YouTube script, a product prototype. Most people stretch that across 3 days because they're distracted. Your advantage isn't intelligence, it's intensity with recovery. That's rare. Stop asking, how do I stay motivated? Start asking, how do I design the right state? Motivation is emotional. State is biological. You can't control emotions directly. You can control inputs. And when inputs are controlled, focus becomes predictable. That's freedom. Not hustle, not burnout. Controlled output. The 3-step system. Step 1. Reset your biology. Lower stimulation. Move, breathe, hydrate. Step 2. Build a focus container. 1 outcome. Fixed time. No decisions, no escape routes. Step 3. Work in 90-minute waves. Deep work. Real break. Repeat. Do this consistently for 30 days. And 4 hours of focus becomes your new baseline. Not exhausting, not dramatic, normal.